Good day, everyone. My name is Cindy Mitchell. I am a employee here within the Government of Canada, a co-convener of this writing team, here with my colleague, Mohammed Almabrook, representing Government of Saudi Arabia, another of the three co-conveners, and soon to be joined by Clinton Hyman, the co-convener representing Government of South Africa. So welcome everyone. We are thrilled that you are able to be with us today as we provide a glimpse into the work underway within the Future Geospatial Information Writing Team on the road to the 15th session of the UNGIM Committee of Experts. Just very quickly, I'm going to offer just a little bit of background on our writing team itself, and then I will turn the floor over to Mr. Almabrook. Let's just walk through, Guillaume, if you could advance the slide to number 3. The next one. Lovely. So we've been what we're calling on the journey of chasing or seeking clarifications and guidance on the future geospatial information ecosystem for some time. I believe the topic initially came up within the Committee of Experts in several years ago. With the 13th session, there was actually a decision taken by the committee where there was agreement that it was probably a good idea and needed to work through what the future geospatial ecosystem was and what were the ways that member nations and interested folk could interact and contribute and benefit from it. But as obviously something that's very dynamic, it was felt that there needed to be further scoping and some more consensus built around what the foundations of that future geospatial information ecosystem would be. And the writing team that is working together now set forward last year to do just that, to try to define what the ecosystem looked like and pinpoint some of the foundational principles and elements of this ecosystem in and of itself, and in the ways that it joins in and interacts and contributes to the wider digital ecosystem. This year then, based on last year's initial scoping work and proposal of certain elements and principles, the writing team undertook a much more ambitious plan of work based on the agreement and the support of the Committee of Experts to come to a better understanding, a wider understanding of the geospatial digital information ecosystem, and present a position paper which we have been on a journey to create. And today we're here to talk a bit more about what we've done this year. So if you could advance Guillaume to slide 5, and I'll just speak again to those who are just joining now. The co-conveners of this particular group under the UNGJM's Committee of Experts, the co-conveners of the Future Geospatial Information Ecosystem Writing Team are Saudi Arabia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Government of Canada, and the Government of South Africa. We are with you this morning, myself, Cindy Mitchell, Mr. Mohammed Almabrook, representing the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and I'll be turning it over to Mohammed shortly, and our third colleague, Clinton Hyman, who is hopefully able to join us in a few moments towards the end of the presentation to dive into some of the work that we've done this year. Let's look at the program of work really quickly. So if you could advance to slide 7, Guillaume, thank you very much. We undertook a 25-week, very ambitious, but almost aggressive, if you will, program of work since January up till now to arrive at the intelligence that we'll be sharing with you today. We wanted to clarify and advance the concept of the Future Geospatial Information Ecosystem, FGIE, as I call it. We wanted to also enhance our stakeholder engagement and reach beyond the committee of experts and member nations and so forth, recognizing that geospatial is a key ingredient and a key component in that wider digital ecosystem. So we wanted to draw in and create dialogue with others that are not normally tuned in to the geospatial oriented discussions. And we've done that. We wanted to promote cross-sectoral value, obviously, for the same reasons. We want to bring the power of geospatial to apply more broadly in the wider digital ecosystem and learn and contribute to that ecosystem. And we wanted to provide some practical implementation guidance. We organized our program into 6 phases. The first phase was generally just coming together as a group to develop the work plan itself and decide who and what would happen. The second phase, we organized and executed a series of global webinars where we were very fortunate to have approximately 20 thought leaders who were identified by the group. Those who are active and leading the way in the wider digital ecosystem today were kind enough to join us and to speak to their particular perspectives on the digital ecosystem. And we were thrilled to have in the order of between the 2 webinars that we hosted, around 250 to 300 people, I believe, join in. So we felt that we were starting to reach beyond our own group and the UNTGIM community, and to bring the message a bit more broadly and to get feedback from other quarters. So we were thankful for that and used that information to inform a broad survey, global survey that's also gone out, and hopefully some of you have seen that and responded to it. And Mr. Elmabrook will address what we learned from that survey this morning. From both the information gathered through the webinar and the survey and our own researches and determinations, we have also moved forward with mapping that digital ecosystem and drafting a position paper on the future geospatial information ecosystem to present at the 15th session upcoming this August. So we've been diligent. The team has worked very hard over a very short runway of just several months to engage, outreach, and gather input, connect with both those that are aware of the program and those that are not, and bring that all back within the position paper that will be presented in August. So let me just advance now to introduce more formally my colleague, my valued colleague, Mr. Mohammed Elmabrook, with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Mr. Elmabrook, I will pass the floor to you to discuss the team's survey and what we have learned from it. Thank you.
Thank you, and good day, everyone. Distinguished delegates, esteemed guests. I'm pleased today to provide you with a brief on the survey background. Next, please, Guillaume. So as Ms. Mitchell just mentioned, that Saudi Arabia proposed a comprehensive questionnaire in consulting with the writing team to explore the future geospatial ecosystem within the broader digital landscape. And these initiatives build on the UN GGIM discussion and aligned with the UN IGI frameworks and leveraging the finding from the Future Geospatial Information Ecosystem Report and its 25-week of program. So we were aiming to ensure that the future of geospatial development are strategically integrated into the digital landscape. Next, please. So the primary objective of this survey is to identify the components, the stakeholders, and the interconnections within the future geospatial and the wider digital ecosystem. And the survey were designed to gather the insight that will inform the development of coherence and integrated approach of the geospatial information management, just to make sure that is aligned also with the global digital transformation efforts and also for the aim of supporting the sustainable development priorities and goals. Next, please. So the survey focus on basically a number of elements such as the governance, the technology, the standards, the capacity development, as well as the data ecosystem. It also explores sector cooperation and the role of the innovation in advancing, the geospatial information management. So to conclude these objectives, the survey is a critical initiative aimed to shaping the future of geospatial information management with a broader digital ecosystem. And by gathering this comprehensive input from stakeholders around the world, I believe the survey will provide a valuable insight that will inform policy enhancement, cooperation, and guide the development of integrated, sustainable geospatial ecosystem in line with the digital transformation goals. Next, please. Next, please. So moving to the survey result itself, we launched the global survey for a month from May 12th to June. And this was not a generic data gathering exercise. It was targeted efforts to capture, the first-hand experience of stakeholders directly, and by engaging in geospatial ecosystem and digital information or infrastructure. So the goal was to better understand the constraints and opportunities, priorities that shaping the future of geospatial information. Next, please. So the survey received around 223 responses from across 6 global regional. And it's notable that over 70% of response came from South or Global South, like from Africa, Asian, Pacific, and Latin America. So it was important to, capture this perspective from this country to understand the global concept of technology dialogue, and importantly, that 41% of the input came also from national and local government agencies. Those are closest to the implementation realities, and also universities, private frames, and NGOs. This diverse efforts of 360-degree view of today, or capture of, how the ecosystem looks like in the future. Next, please. So This slide also outlines the several foundation also challenges were revealed actually. First is the soil systems, where the geospatial functions are framed across the ministries and sectors, and creating redundancies and showing as slowing the decision making. And the second is the missing of the legal, uh, you know, uh, uh, guardians. And this is because of the lack of the clarity on the spatial data ownership, and also the accountabilities of who is actually practically, as the AI is coming, becoming integrated to these, systems. Thirdly is the skills without systems. While some countries have advanced technologies, um, other countries actually are lack international readiness, and creating, a large capacity gap. Next, please. So the second layer of problems touch governance and values. So the values-based governance is missing in many countries. So systems are built in technological logic, but the lack and the right base frame of the right how these technologies are working within the governance is also missing. um, Delivery over theory. There is misalignment between the policy and the operational reality. As well, the interoperabilities remain also a major hurdle. So many responded stressed that the system don't talk to each other, and technically or institutionally, resulting in an efficient and marginalizing the user groups. Next, please. So this slide here particularly outline the emerging and system risk. So the AI and emerging technologies were both celebrated and feared. So 25% of responses criticized these, a game changer, but expressed concern over the lack of regulation, algorithm bias, and the dependencies on the private platforms. Also, the capacity gap in AI, sometimes in some countries in the GIS and legal expertise were widely reported. Lastly, the barriers in to partnership were noted. A large uncertainties of lack of funding and low trust prevent productivities in cooperation. Next, please. So finally, here the emerging technologies, again, like AI, automations, and machine to learning will lead, the digital geospatial agenda, but their, development or deployment is unique. And the responses noted that these technologies are often inaccessible in a low connectivity, or also in low resources setting. Next, please. Also here, I would like to emphasize that the participants focus on the future or emphasizes that the future ecosystem must harness both traditional and dynamic data that include the geospatial and environmental data, but also the real-time Earth observation and social economic streams. So the intergathering these allows for a high quality analysis and also emerges the response and climate modeling and more responsive the governments. However, the integrated requires a common standards and also strong institutions and reliable infrastructure. Next, please. So here, what I would like to say that the ecosystem of the future, it must be interoperable and ethical, inclusive, and adaptive. And beyond these technical terms, this means that the system that is safeguard the privacy and a multiple and a cultural relevant and also built with the end user in mind, need. And also responded called for open commons based data the government by enforcing legal and ethical framework. And also, in the other hand, the innovation must not come at the cost of quality, and most importantly, the role of youth and in this, community where, rapidly stressed. Next, please. So in this slide, what we should invest in, so responded were clearly built on a robust digital infrastructure, expand the digital and the geospatial skills, embed the strong governance and support the open standards and ensure the environmental sustainability. Investment must go beyond these technical, approaches, and they must, enable people policies and include services that's close to digital divides rather than widen them. Next, please. So to support this information, the finance model must evolve. While the government investment remained the key, the stakeholders also recommended a private sector engagement and data cooperation and even tokenize, of the data services and a creative model like subscription-based data platform or cross-border geospatial development funds could offer, sustainability for the innovation at, different scales. Next, please. So access must be equalized, and not just available. It's about more than infrastructure. And so it's about, digital literacies and cultural relevance. Includes, the governance again and connectivities that reach rural and migralized, communities. And also to be like a user-centric platform, a local, capacity development only by, emerging trust and diversity in the governance that will be like an ecosystem serve to everyone. Next, please. So to summarize, the survey highlight, challenges faced in geospatial ecosystem that include, figurement, system, legal gap around the data and AI, and also the capacity short fall in the technology and the governance as well. So responded stress that the urgent need for ethics includes, and the inclusive and the equality, especially as emerging technologies pose both, opportunities and risk, and also priorities for future include interoperability. Adaptable, system grounded in open standards, strong legal frameworks, and ethical safeguard that's allowed, access also must be go beyond, infrastructure to include digital a broader digital ecosystem. So the inclusive, governance and the culturally relevant platform, also investment should focus on the digital infrastructures, skills, the governance, the innovations, and the sustainability to support or be supported by diverse funding models. So these are the main finding from analysis of the survey that we conducted with our colleagues. And thank you very much for your attention. And now I would like to invite Mr. Clinton to present the positioning paper elements. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mabrouk. Unfortunately, Mr. Clinton has been called upon in a ministerial cabinet meeting, so I will do the presentation on his behalf and just go through the couple of slides that highlight the resulting position paper that is the result of as mentioned by Cindy and Mohammed, that is the result of the consultation, both in the context of the survey and then also the webinar that was conducted in March, which is available on the GGM website. So core concepts of the future geospatial information ecosystem that are going to be highlighted in the position paper of the writing team of the future geospatial information ecosystem are that the future geospatial information ecosystem is knowledge-centric, uses data obviously as a foundational infrastructure, is considering ecosystem thinking, community engagement, systemic reciprocity, is abiding by geospatial data values, ethics, inclusive innovation, semantic and institutional interoperability, resilience and adaptability, machine readable and actionable by design, human-centric with the human-centric governance. So some of the key concepts will be included in the position paper that will be delivered by the writing team on the future geospatial information ecosystem for the 15th session. Couple of the highlights on the strategic imperatives. Again, this will be included in the position paper that there is digital transformation and technological conversions. So it is key for the geospatial information management community to consider all those rapid advancements in digital technologies and to understand how best to position themselves in that overall digital transformation content. There is also a strategic imperative on climate change and resilience. There is the urgent global challenges that need to be addressed. And so location-based data is fundamental to understanding those impacts and managing the risk. So that's also a strategic imperative. The overall Global Digital Compact of the United Nations that was adopted in September 2024 also highlight data as a foundational public good. So it is also critical that member states and the geospatial community contributes and uses this opportunity to mainstream some of their activities and services to make sure that there is that they contribute to foundational public good. Bridging the geospatial digital divide, again, this is also mentioned in the Global Digital Compact, that it is important to bring technological progress to everyone, to make sure that inequalities are reduced and that the future geospatial ecosystem has to prioritize inclusivity, capacity development, and equitable access to technologies and data to ensure that all member states, particularly developing countries, can participate and benefit from this evolving digital ecosystem. And then strengthening governance and trust in the digital area. As the ecosystem are becoming more and more complex, it is important to maintain trust, public trust in data, and upholding ethical governance and safeguarding data sovereignty. So the pillars of change of the digital ecosystem, there is 3 pillars of change that has been identified by this writing team on the future geospatial information ecosystem. One is purpose-driven. It has to be make the geospatial community and member state have to make sure that they address global challenges and to make sure that the future geospatial information ecosystem is purpose-driven, meaning to have actionable data that is supporting decision-making and achieving development, global development agendas, and also national priorities. People-centered, also, as mentioned, it is key that the future geospatial information ecosystem provides equitable access to knowledge to make sure that access alone is not enough and to make sure that there is that knowledge that is available to everyone, including government action, of course, first and foremost, but also community access and make sure that the digital data is available to everyone to make sure that they can help act decisively based on data-informed evidence. And then the third pillars of change is partnership-oriented to make sure that there is a broad engagement of the community, that there is also bridges built with other digital cooperation actors, and to make sure that there is bridging the digital divide. So again, to make sure that there is cooperation across actors, disciplines, and member states to make sure that geospatial tools and services are brought to bear and brought to bringing the community together. Some of the principles that were identified by the writing team, the importance of the transformative power of technologies and data to drive improvements and advancements. Agile, to make sure that there is a continuous adaptation of the geospatial community and the services that is provided to make sure that this integrates well with other concept, ideas, elements, and technologies from the wider digital ecosystem. Make sure that the geospatial information management is interoperable to make sure that it bridges and integrates with different interoperable systems that enable seamless data exchanges and compatibility across different platforms. Make sure that this is sustainable with practices, capacities, and systems that ensure efficient resources investment and sustainable efficiency gains. Another principle is automation to make sure that efficiency, accuracy, and scalability of geospatial information systems approach that builds on the efforts of building spatial data infrastructures. Inclusive to make sure that it fosters an environment that values and incorporates diverse perspectives and stakeholders. Reliable, that it promotes authoritative sources and reliable data, services, metadata, knowledge, insights, and foresights. Ethical and rights-based, that upholds transparency, accountable human rights, and ethical stewardship. Collaborative, again, as mentioned before, that encourages cooperation amongst a wide range of partners. Oops, sorry. Decentralized, that it engages multiple actors in domain that operate independently and act interactively. And then finally, integrated, that prioritizes interconnectivity and integration, weaving together multifaceted different systems and ecosystems. Some of the overall objectives towards the future geospatial ecosystem is to make sure that geospatial information is and knowledge is brought as a public good, again, bearing in mind overall orientation and policy as a public good. Foster digital cooperation is another key goal. Bridge the geospatial divide, embed anticipatory governance and adaptive decision-making, and then finally safeguard trust, human rights, and ethical stewardship. So this overall effort of the writing team on the future geospatial information ecosystem is building on the key framework of the Committee of Experts, which is the United Nations Integrated Geospatial Information Framework. This framework has 9 strategic pathways, which is governance, policy, financial, data, innovation, standards, partnerships, capacity and education, communication and engagement. Those key building blocks for enhancing geospatial information management is also the founding, the overall framework that the future geospatial ecosystem is considering. And in this overall context, it is, I guess, an enhancement or consideration about going beyond the integrated geospatial information framework and try to understand how some of the step changes from the United Nations Integrated Geospatial Information Framework, what are some forward-looking elements that the geospatial community and member states have to consider to keep abreast of technology and adapt society in the overall context of, the changes that are being operated in the wider digital ecosystem. So here, those elements are going to be part of the position paper on the future geospatial information ecosystem that will be soon available on the GGM website, and includes a variety of elements that the writing team is considering that are going to be key in adapting to the upcoming developments in the wider digital ecosystem. So those elements are guiding elements for geospatial community to consider how to adapt and evolve and make sure that they are brought into and integrated in the wider digital ecosystem. Will not go through all those elements, but you can consult them when the presentation will be made available online soon after this webinar. So to conclude, towards advancing the future geospatial information ecosystem, some key elements and next steps for the member states to consider, and the wider digital ecosystem, how to contribute effectively to this wider digital ecosystem. Some key elements will be to align with broader global digital agendas, to deepen engagement and dialogue with the wider digital community, ensure that there is a cross-sector collaboration, pilot innovative approaches across a variety of actors and stakeholders, develop priority use cases and how geospatial information can be leveraged to be participating to solving real use cases, such as in the different domains that geospatial information can contribute, such as agriculture, environment, health, and all those priorities that are national priorities and global agendas priorities. And then finally, the strengthen capacity and knowledge sharing. So now I will turn back again to the co-conveners to help moderate questions and discussion. If you have questions on all what was presented, whether the findings, the webinar, the survey, or the key elements of the position paper, or the process as it's going to be unfolding. Please feel free to comment. You can either raise your hand, or you can put it in the chat, some questions, and then the conveners will help answer some of those questions and inquiries that you may have. So again, please feel free to raise your hand and then put in the chat some questions. Cindy, I don't know if you want to say a few words, or Mr. Al-Mabrouk, while people are still gathering their thoughts around the different slides that we've thrown at them.
Yeah, I just want to express my thanks for everyone who did take time today to join us on our journey towards a future geospatial information ecosystem. I think it is very important that we continue to have discussions, share, and pool our thoughts as we, as a community, ensure the value of geospatial continues to resonate within the wider digital ecosystem. And that is one of our key goals of this group. And yeah, I think certainly I'm very pleased to see folks joining us today. I want to thank everyone who responded to the survey and attended our global webinars in March as well. It's very appreciated, and we hope that you will also, once the paper has been presented to the committee and published, that you will engage with that as well and continue the conversation with us. Mr. Elmerbrook, did you have any final comments?
No, just would like to extend my thanks for everyone who participated, in the questionnaire and the survey. It was really helpful to, develop, the concept of, it's a new concept, to be honest, that's been, presented at the UN level. And we thanks everyone patient and, contribution to, these efforts. And we would like also to encourage everyone to, participate with us in these, ongoing dialogues to enhance and enrich this concept. Thank you.
So there is a quick question in the chat, and if I can also invite colleagues to contribute. I mean, it is important, if you have some suggestions or perspective to offer, to bear in mind that those perspectives can still be included in the upcoming positioning paper. We wanted to share today the overall content of what's going to be in the position paper, but if you think that there's something that is missing, please feel free to reach out to the Secretariat or to the conveners to maybe suggest some elements that you think are critical for the geospatial community to consider that may not have been presented today. And the question today is more on procedure. Can you give a date when the report will be available at the 15th session website? So the position paper will probably be available around mid-July on the GGM website in advance of the 15th session. So it is expected that it will be available then, and then that the committee of experts will take on this agenda item and consider what they do next with this position paper. This will be discussed at the 15th session that will be held between 6th and 8th of August this year. So that's a little bit of the timeline. The position paper being available mid-July, and then the question is then going to be taken by the committee of experts as to what they do with this position paper and the overall concept of the future geospatial information ecosystem. And another question, which is today's presentation available? It will be in the coming few days. We will probably post it today or tomorrow on the side event digital, as mentioned by Cindy, digital road to the 15th session of GGIM. So you have registered to this event, same place. You will be able to find the presentation on the website. And it is true also for the previous session that were on the strategic framework, the United Nations Integrated Geospatial Information Framework. The side events recordings are available on the GGM website. Thank you, Aigerim, to post the link to this on the chat. Appreciate it. And all the presentation slides are available on the GGM website. Is there any hands raised? No hands raised. So, yeah. There is one question from Derek Clark. I don't know if you see this. I'll just read it, and maybe one of the co-conveners can take it. Most of the discussion seems to focus on internal part of the geospatial ecosystem, which is important to have a healthier inner part. However, just as important is the interaction between the geospatial ecosystem and those ecosystems that it interacts with. Without a healthy interaction, there is the possibility that competition between ecosystems can arise, which could be destructive to the geospatial ecosystem. So if you want to maybe Mr. Mohammed or Cindy respond to this.
I would, Mr. Clark, I would thank you for the comment and also acknowledge that, yeah, we absolutely agree in the sense that the geospatial information ecosystem does not exist in a vacuum or stand alone, and is an integral part of the wider digital ecosystem. And we both acknowledge that, and we've been spending effort to map those linkages and to provide hopefully some further insight in how we deepen that integration, and how we do that in a way that it encourages the sustainability and the health of geospatial within that wider digital ecosystem. Really important to remember that we cannot just speak to ourselves in a closed room, and that's why we've been very much trying to engage with external groups that may not be thinking along these lines in terms of geo. And certainly I think will continue, and will certainly acknowledge to the committee of experts as well. That's a very important part of the work, any work that happens going forward, is that we continue to explore those integration points, linkages, and how geo both brings value and benefits from a healthy sustainable position within a broader digital ecosystem. Mr. Almbrook, did you want to also comment on that?
Sure. I would like to first say that it's a very important comment that Mr. Clark raised, is to include, and geospatial, societies within this dialogue, and that's exactly what we have accomplished. I hope by designing that survey, and not include as much as many geospatial terminology to capture their perspective and on how the geospatial ecosystem could look like in the future. And like ourselves here in Saudi, we have an experience that or a journey that's just started to implement the this concept within our government, and we include some partners to help us to first to understand and develop a concept around how the geospatial ecosystem for Saudi could look like. And we tried, to be honest, to be a good added value at writing or formalizing the report. So thank you for that comment.
If I can just maybe compliment while maybe people are still thinking about questions, I think that the webinar was particularly, important to engage a the wider digital community and reached out well beyond the geospatial community. So this is something that is probably key for considering to how we engage further with the wider digital community. So that's for sure a very good point. So I see no more questions or comments in the chat. So I think we are getting close to the hour. Maybe we want to have a close, if that's okay with you, Cindy and Mohammed. I leave that in your hands. Yes, there's a question. This is done with the Center of Excellence for Digital Ecosystem. Maybe I can just really quickly respond to this one. There is indeed the ongoing establishment of Center of Excellence in Saudi Arabia, but this is not necessarily directly connected to the substantive discussion. There will be a Center of Excellence that will probably be dealing with the digital ecosystem in Saudi Arabia, but this is done in the context of the substantive progress of the conversation on the topic. So those are somehow connected, but not connected. This is with respect to the Committee of Experts in consideration of the future geospatial ecosystem, and then in parallel we have the Center of Excellence that is being established in Riyadh. Those are parallel streams of work, if we can say.
And this work that the writing team's undertaken here and has undertaken for the past several years is fully open as well. So certainly the conversation and dialogue is taking place in the open through our reporting to the Committee of Experts as well. So and the invitation is always open for new perspectives coming in. I think if we don't have further comments or questions, I would note, of course, that, you know, in that spirit of my last comment, certainly we're available if you have thoughts, if you have comments, if you have, you know, if you're struck with inspiration or you're really struggling with a concept, to reach out to any of us as well. We're here and happy to discuss any aspect of the work. As we go forward. We'll look forward to seeing many of you as we move towards the 15th session. And certainly we're members of this team are participating in other sessions as we roll towards August to learn from and hear from the other working groups and teams. Also working on other aspects of the UNGJM's overall work program. So we're also trying to listen and be aware of other factors that could influence as we finalize our position paper. Yeah, and we'll see how the paper is received at the 15th session and what follow-on actions may come going forward. So I'll also mention to those interested, there's always the participation, there's always the option as well to participate in the group going forward if we continue our work following the 15th session. And I think if there are no more comments or questions, we could close with your permission, Mr. Almerbrook. I do believe, Guillaume, that our other co-convener, Clinton Hyman, was in the end unable to join us this morning, but I know Clinton has been a key member of the team as well and is the lead for the position paper itself. And certainly he sends his regards and his regrets for not being able to join us this morning, but duty called. As it were, in his role. So I wanted to, again, just to thank everyone for spending time with us today. We really appreciate it. And I'll just reiterate once more, if you do have follow-on thoughts, do not hesitate to seek us out and communicate those to us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.